Hi, and welcome to Essentially Yours. My name is Carla. I have been a nurse since 1998, and I absolutely love helping people better their lives and help them come to an independent state, and to help educate people on things they can do for themselves to make their bodies function at their optimal level and help bring them to a place of homeostasis within their body. I am also a doTERRA wellness advocate, and today we are going to talk about the basics of oils, what they are, and where's a good place to get started. So this is a class for everybody, whether you're just learning about essential oils or whether you've been into oils for quite a while. I think there's always something that we can learn and share with each other. So today we're going to talk about the absolute basics and essentials to oils. One of the coolest things is when you purchase through doTERRA, you are going to get the absolute purest oils there are. And that's really, really important to know. When you have pure oils, the oils are going to work the way they're intended to work, and our body's going to know what they are and what to do with them, and to be able to help us get to where we need to be. When you start getting adulterated oils, that's when you can really start having different side effects and not getting the results that you want. So you need to go with a company that you trust, and doTERRA by far sets the standard on oil purity. That is all you're going to get from doTERRA, is the one and only pure oil. So what is an oil? It is the immune system from plants, roots, trees, flowers, leaves, anything alive and natural that you can pull an essential oil from. Not all living plants can you extract an essential oil from, but the ones that you can, they are incredibly powerful. What's really cool about doTERRA too is they work with farmers in the places where the plants are indigenous, because that's where you're going to get your purest and your best quality. You can grow most plants or trees or grasses anywhere, but you're going to get your best constituents when the plants are grown where they're indigenous. And so that's another really cool thing about doTERRA is 96% of our growers, and I'm sure that number will just keep growing. When I first started with doTERRA back in 2015 or 16, I think we were at 74%. But doTERRA builds these relationships with their farmers, and they treat them really well, and they pay them really well. They pay them what they're worth, and they pay them based on quality. And so now 96 to 98% of our farmers work exclusively for doTERRA, meaning they only grow their crops for doTERRA. They don't sell their crops to anybody else. They only go to doTERRA with their product. That says a lot. doTERRA doesn't own its farms. It goes to the farmers, and oftentimes they're in third world countries, and they literally are lifting these people in these communities up and giving them a high quality of life, doing what they love and what they know and what's been in their family for many, many years. So it's really important to know that you're using a quality oil, and when you're using a quality oil, you're not going to get the side effects, you're not going to get reactions from them. And our bodies are going to know what they need to do with them. Now, I will tell you, I'm sensitive to oils, so I typically will mix my oils with some, like fractionated coconut oil is the carrier oil of my choice. I have plenty of others, but my go-to is fractionated coconut oil. I personally have reactions to a few of them, and that's just my body. Most people don't have those same reactions, but you need to be aware that you can, and it's okay. The oils have so many different properties and constituents that you can just go to your next one. But I will say they're very rare. I'm the rarity. I'm special, I guess. And most of mine are not severe. They're skin sensitivities, and so I just choose not to utilize those oils. And I go to another oil that I can get just the greatest benefits from. So we're going to talk about the basics on how you utilize the oils, and then how you can get started in them. So one of the ways that you can utilize them is aromatically. So you'll see here in my diffuser, I have a water-based diffuser. So I add some water and I add anywhere between 2 and 10 drops of oil, and I start it. And it changes the atmosphere almost immediately. And the reason that is because the scents alone trigger things through our olfactory system, which is part of our limbic system and our brain. And it hits our amygdala, which is kind of our watch guard of our brain and our body. And that's also the seat of all of our emotion. So a lot of times those emotions can be buried, and sometimes the scents can help bring those out. And scents can be very, very uplifting. And all of these parts of our brain are getting those signals just from the scent of the oil. And it starts making changes within us immediately before the other parts of our brain go, oh, that's wild orange, or oh, that's peppermint. So scent alone can have a very dramatic effect. An example of that is one afternoon my husband was having a lot of GI distress. And it was so bad and he was so uncomfortable, he decided he was going to go lay down. And my husband doesn't lay down in the middle of the day just to take a nap. He is a day sleeper because he works nights, but if it's his day off, he doesn't lay down unless he's not feeling well. So I knew it had to be pretty bad. He wasn't too into the oils then. It's not that he was opposed to them, but it wasn't his go-to choice for treatment. So he went in and laid down, and I went in and started his diffuser that I have next to his bed with some Copaiba, which is one of the oils we're going to talk about here in a minute, my absolute favorite. I started that in the diffuser, and he called me into the room about 10 minutes later. He noticed it was on, and he said, "What did you put in the diffuser?" And at first I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I just put some Copaiba in there. I thought it would, help kind of ease the tension in your belly. And he's like, I don't have any more pain in my belly. And I was like, wow. I knew that they could have a pretty dramatic effect, even just aromatically. I didn't expect to have that quick of a physical response by using it aromatically. So it really did help neutralize things, and he got up shortly after that and carried on with his day. And he was excited, and I was more than excited. So having the oils enter our body through our nasal cavity and hitting our olfactory system and taking those small, really volatile molecules to our body so it can do its magic was so relieving for me. I felt so empowered that I could help my family member just like that. He's not one that he likes to take any medications, even over-the-counter stuff, and so he's becoming more and more willing and liking to use the oils because it's a natural thing that he knows that it's pure and it's at his fingertips. He doesn't have to go to his doctor and get prescription, or he doesn't have to run to the store and get them. And it was super empowering for us as a family member. So just putting them on aromatically is great. If you don't have a diffuser, you can even just take a drop of it and just drop it in your hand. Or if you have a roller ball, you can take the roller ball and roll it in your hand, okay? And rub your hands together. And just cup your hands over your mouth and your nose and just take some really deep breaths in. You'll get different responses with different oils. This is Adaptive that I put on, which is the Emotionally Balancing Blend. And it's very calming, and it's very soothing, and it's very focusing. You put a peppermint in there, and that's an energizer, a wake me up. You can just feel it kind of penetrate all through your sinuses and your respiratory system. You can just kind of feel them opening up. And so that in an essence is relaxing, but it's also super energizing. So I encourage you, if we've given you a sample, take it out, put it in your hand right now, rub them together, and take about 3 deep breaths and just feel the power of that essential oil. Okay? You'll see the power. I mean, you saw, I maybe rolled it 3 times. And when I'm doing this and cupping with like one of my full bottles, I just do 1 drop. More is not necessarily better in the essential oil world. You're kind of just wasting it, actually. It takes very little because they're really, really powerful. So 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 29 peppermint tea bags if you're trying to use it for like a tea. So that just kind of gives you an example of how powerful they are. You don't want to put 6 drops of peppermint and then inhale and kind of rub the extra, on your neck to release some tension, or up on your forehead to relieve some head tension. You'll kind of be on fire, and you'll probably not be super happy with me, because you'll really get that effect. 1 to 2 drops is all you need at a time, okay? Depending on the size of my room, so this is a fairly small room that I'm in right now, so I only have about 4 drops of an essential oil in here. If I'm out in my big area that has my kitchen and my living room and my dining area, it's a much bigger area, and that's when I'll kind of up the number of drops in my diffuser. You just kind of have to play with it and do what is good for you. Also, when I'm diffusing, I typically like to put in more than 1 oil. If it's a blend, then I like to do the blends by themselves or even add a little bit something. But if it's a single oil, I prefer to have a combination of 2 to 3 oils in there at a time. And I'll do like 2 to 4 drops of each oil in the diffuser and then start it up. So in my diffuser right now, I have spearmint and clementine because they're very uplifting and soothing to me. And when I put them in my diffuser, I almost always do it for the aromatic approach. And so I wanted something that smells good to me. I rarely put it in there for the physical use, although I did with my husband that one time, and it was very, very effective. I think I put some peppermint in with his Copaiba as well. Just Copaiba is not my most favorite scent, but it is my most favorite oil of all times. So I added a little peppermint, and peppermint's also a good GI neutralizer, so the combination really worked for him from a physical aspect. But usually in the diffuser, I'm using it for that, the aroma that I would like to be in that room. It's very, very uplifting. Okay, another way to use it, we've already kind of talked about, is topically when we put it on our hands and inhaled. A lot of times I'll rub that extra on my chest or my feet or the back of my neck. The roller balls I absolutely love. doTERRA has a lot of combinations of roller balls. And I like those because they're quick and they're easy. Most of them are combined with some fractionated coconut oil. And what that does is it really kind of makes your oil more like an extended release per se, okay? Essential oils are really small volatile molecules. And so they can kind of flash off of our skin really quickly. And so we kind of lose some of the potency or effect from it. When you put them with a carrier oil, what that carrier oil does is it keeps it on your skin a little bit longer so your body can fully absorb that essential oil. It doesn't make it greasy. I never feel greasy after applying it with my fractionated coconut oil, but it just helps keep it on your skin just a little bit longer so you get a better effect. It might take a little bit longer to get the effect that you're going for, but that effect will last a little bit longer as well. So if I don't get it in the roller ball from doTERRA, I make up my own. So I'll put anywhere from 5 to 25 drops of oils. It could be a combination of 1 oil or several different oils into my roller ball, and then I fill it with fractionated coconut oil. I do have a little segment in my DIYs videos that show you how you can make your own roller ball. So I'm not going to go into any more detail, but it makes it really easy and convenient. I oftentimes have one in my pocket, and I have several in my purse, so when I'm on the go, I have things at my fingertips if something comes up and I need them. Okay. The other way that you can use oils is internally. Okay. The great thing about doTERRA is they make it really easy to know which ones are safe to take internally, because they will have, and you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to show you on your bottle. You can grab a bottle if you have it, and if it says supplemental facts, just like a box of cereal or any food products that you get at the store, it has a supplemental facts. That means you can take it internally. If it doesn't have a supplemental facts, like tea tree is not one that they typically recommend that you take internally, It won't have supplemental fats, and those are ones that I would avoid and probably wouldn't take internally, okay? So you can use oils aromatically, you can use them topically, and you can take them internally. A lot of times you can just drop them in your mouth. Sometimes they can be intense, especially some of your spices like cinnamon. You're going to feel a little bit of a burn. So different ways you can do that is you can get the little veggie caps, and they're empty capsules that you can pull apart. You can drop your oil in one half, you can put the other half back on, and you can take it internally just like a gel capsule. The other way you can do it is to add it to a beverage, or sometimes I just get like a little shot glass and I'll fill it, it's like 1 ounce with water, and I'll put my drops of oil in that, and then I just swig that down and then flush it through with some additional water. I will say when you're taking them internally and you're adding them to a drink of some sort,